Back here on 98.5, the Sports Hub. How you doing? We're back. 1-1 draw. But our buddy scored, though. Eli Feingold. So, wonder if he got the bump. You know? Came on the show. Played during the show. And was the show today for the New England Revolution. So if you're a Revs fan, you want to get into it, oh, this is the place. 617-779-0985. I almost needed a Revs game after the Red Sox today. Right, we got a blowout going on in the NBA right now. Now, the hockey's been interesting, I guess, right? But needed a little just breather from today's Red Sox game because I have been talking to the guys in the back. We got Skaz here tonight. Luke, our new intern. Can we call you Fitzy? Like, what's your name? Like, do you have like a
Fitz?
Fitz, like Dick Fitz, the pitcher. Yeah,
Richard.
Oh, Richard. Who's your favorite little rascal? Richard, hold me. Fitz. In the back, Fitz. Anyways, I was trying to show them. Ball comes to you at second base, and there's a runner on third. And a runner on first, what are you supposed to do? You know, and I learned back at Parkway Little League. I remember back then, I was a first baseman. And I basically, the coach said to me, Joe, if the ball goes near second base, let the second baseman get it. And I said, okay. Well, that's what Christian Campbell did, even though Sogard was near the ball. And what did he decide to do? Now, not just get the simple out at first or just the force out at second. He threw it to home, but I would say it wasn't really on target. And because it was a little bit off target, extra bases for the runners on base, and they lost. And I'm just sitting here, wondering why the manager of the Red Sox, who is a middle infielder, a very good one for that matter, whose brother was an outstanding middle infielder, why the team stinks at middle infield. And I'm not going to get on Christian Campbell because I don't think he has a good arm. I think he was forced to play second base. I think they wanted him to play second base so they can put Bregman at third and put Devers at DH, but it all blew up in their face. Now they have no Bregman. Devers won't play third. Campbell's going to move to first. It's all gone wrong. It's all going wrong. Marcelo Mayer is going to be the next shortstop of the Boston Celtics. The future, Marcelo Mayer, shortstop. They have him playing at second base, and then they put him at third. Like these young guys, they're the next ones. There we go. They're going to be this. They're going to be that. They're not even playing the positions they can play. Therefore, growing pains. So the Red Sox wanted to tell us this year that they wanted to be competitive playing in the postseason. There were people who actually picked the Boston Red Sox to win the World Series. Can you believe that? They picked him to win the World Series, and they have guys who can't even play positions, and they have one real hitter on their team. They did a great job at fooling everybody. They're mediocre. And it's tough to watch now because of the growing pains. Do they want to win, or do they want to develop talent? If you sold to the fan base that you want the talent to develop so you can compete, tell us. Because we're investing energy into a team that stinks. And we're yelling at the manager who's cost them how many games now? How many? Last night I used the word Joe Murray handfuls, guys. I got a big hand. I mean, we might have to get 2 hands soon. But a big Joe Murray handful of games. They've blown. Someone wrote Red Sox, not Celtics, in an email to me. I'll read that shortly. But the Red Sox are yet again a middling team. And the fan base is angry because we got fooled and duped. And now we're dealing with growing pains from a young core. The Red Sox have been walked off now in how many? 4 of their last 5? 6 of their last 11? It's pain. Pain. Their last 4 games. Do you know what they're batting? Well, going into today, 29 of 136. That's a 213 batting average. That's not good. Did you know who played? Guys, do you know who the cleanup hitter today was for the Red Sox?
Was it Meyer?
Oh, it was.
That's good. You're not putting too much on the kid. That's reasonable.
I mean, is he a second baseman? Is he a shortstop? Is he a third baseman? Is he a cleanup hitter? Is he a middle of the order? What is he? What is he? How did he do today? 1, 2, 3, 4. 0 for 4. With a strikeout. Would you like the cleanup hitter numbers for the Red Sox, guys? They're 27. The cleanup hitter is batting 200.
I would say not good.
It's all not good. OBP 30. Slugging 27. OPS 28. Strikeout rate 28. That's they have a 2-hitter. They have Duran, Devers, Bregman. That's it. Abreu sometimes. That's it. They have nothing else. They have nothing else besides guys who need to be DFA'd or guys learning on the fly. Like Rafaela, I expect him to have some, a couple of good streaks and bad streaks. I get it. Wilyer Abreu, for that matter, I think you can't just give up on guys like him, There's 2 right there. And now we're going to add Christian Campbell and Marcelo Meyer. That's 4 hitters. 4 hitters that are legit young players that are learning on the fly. Legitimately learning on the fly. And then they have other guys who really screw it up, like David Hamilton, who was 0 for 5 today. 0 for 5. They're just a bunch of young players going through growing pains with Duran and Devers and whatever they can throw out there at catcher and shortstop. That's all they are right now. It's disappointing. They're mediocre. And there's 0 urgency with this team. We'll give you the final call. You want to talk about the Sox? Let's do it. 617-779-0985. Also, if you want to talk about Mike Vrabel today and his comments on Stefon Diggs, I have comments on that. Why don't we do that in the final hour of the show? I know most people are used to the musings here, but we'll do that tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're kind of doing a Red Sox musings here. They deserve it.
You know what? My goal this year, guys, I know we're against it, but you know what? The Revs, they had a draw. My goal this year was not to talk about ownership in the Red Sox. That was my goal because I think it's the laziest take going. The laziest take is ownership doesn't invest in the team. Would you say that ownership is invested in this team this year? I will say yes.
Yeah, Alex Bregman.
I think Bregman, the
Garrett
Crochet deal.
Or Aldis Chapman.
They brought in a bunch of free agents that have all worked. But where else I go with the investment is they're playing the young talent. Like, they wanted to go with Campbell. Like, now that they're playing these guys, does it hurt their value when they're not performing? That was an investment.
You got to just stop putting Trevor Story on the baseball field. Like, it's gotten to the point where he's as bad as a professional athlete can be right now. Like, I don't care what the money is. Like, he's a dead spot in your lineup. Like, there are too many dead spots in that lineup where I put 0.0% blame on Campbell or Meyer, any of these guys. He's not supposed to be out there. And if they are supposed to be out there, they're supposed to be 8-9 hitters right now, maybe a 7 hitter.
Yep.
And they're supposed to have guys around him that can protect him. But right now, Marcel Meyer's been in the big leagues a week and a half, not even, and he's your 4 hitter. That's for the Boston Red Sox. That's embarrassing. You're not the 9-win Colorado Rockies. You're the Boston Red Sox, and you're gonna have a kid that's up here for a cup of coffee as your 4 hitter against a okay Brewers team. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing because, like, on the hindsight of it all, the manager's doing that. Like, that's the lineup the manager put out there. I dare somebody to let me know the last time a rookie who's played 4 games has been a cleanup hitter. Mark McGwire? Like, I'm like, for real. Like, give me a guy that's just
like Bryce Harper, maybe. Like, probably not.
Exactly.
Though.
He probably
like,
was the 3 hitter or 5.
He's
whatever.
a generational, prospect.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, how many guys do you know in 3 games just were inserted in the cleanup spot?
And just to further that point, Joe, Marcel Meyer is not like a power hitting prospect. He's not a first baseman or third baseman or like one of these guys who's swinging for the fences. He's supposed to be a 6 hitter, a 2 hitter, maybe, like someone like that. But no. He's been up here for a week. Let's throw him to the Wolves. That works. Guys always adapt well.
Throw him right in there.
Yeah. What could go wrong?
To me, they're not going to fire the manager. But how do you not look at that one and say, that's smelly? That's a guy that has no answers. It's very smelly, and you know what? They stink. 617-779-0985. That's the phone number if you want to jump aboard. We're here till 11 o'clock tonight. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5 The energy drinks.
All right, Red Sox lose again today in extra innings, 6-5. It was not a good one. I just hiccuped. How do you get rid of them? Do you just hold your breath? How do you get rid of your hiccups, guys? Let's do some scores, everybody. In the NHL right now. Oh, the Panthers now with 3-2 lead, huh? Well, that's unfortunate. How about in the NBA? Well, do you want to know the score? Do you want to know the score? Because I'll tell it to you if you really do. It's 73-5. Skaz, that is what we call a tap out. Ant-Man is Cant-Man. He has now matched Cedric Maxwell for most points in the NBA playoffs. 38 points through 3 quarters. Tap out. Headlines are brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning. With over 50 trucks on the road because your clogged drain's their emergency. Go to johnsewer.com. I'm Joe Murray.
Get the
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
3-1 and a high fly ball center field. Sayon getting under. Here comes the run. Here's the throw home. He will dive in, and they win it again. And the Red Sox lose another one. They have dropped 5 in a row. In this awful stretch of baseball, the Red Sox lose it in extra innings yet again. They're 0-5 in extra inning games on the road this year. 6-5, the final score. You can almost feel that coming. And Milwaukee sweeps the series. Second time the Red Sox have been swept this year. First time they have lost 5 consecutive games. And where does it stop? The young mistakes have been just awful.
Find yourself a one-run games, and when you are to win them, you got to play clean baseball, right? Situational hitting, more importantly, defense, bullpen, whatever it may be, and it just sort of spin the wheel, right? As far as finding ways to lose games. Today it was the defense that really cost you more unearned runs here tonight.
All back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. People are wondering. Well, that was the final call there, by the way. You couldn't hear much of it because they were losing, and when they lose, they turn the crowd noise up so you can't hear anything because it's that bad and it's sad. What's up, J-Buck? Said, shout out Joe Murray, and it's Cole's birthday. I've met Cole. Guys, you remember when the guy, remember you saw a card once someone drew for me? You're going through my cards and you found one that like someone drew.
Yes.
That was Cole.
Well, shout out Cole.
So,
happy birthday.
Yeah, he like drew a card for me with my name, which I still have. Which Skaz was like, hey, look at this. This is cool. So happy birthday, Cole. Someone mentioned Alice Cora had a brother. I believe Joey Cora was Alex's brother, right?
Yes.
He played many years in the league.
He's third base coach for the Tigers. They just saw him not too long ago.
Oh,
yes.
Big fan of Joey. Cool name. Played for the White Sox back in my day. Who would have known to go to second base? Guys, what the Red Sox are doing right now in the field is embarrassing. Their manager today decided that a guy who is not a cleanup hitter batted cleanup and went 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Like, I'm not going to complain about the manager because they're not going to do anything about it. But what are they going to do? There needs to be some urgency. So, I'm going to make a prediction. I think Fatsy goes down tomorrow. It's a day off. Is that his name? Is it really Fatsy? I feel like Fitz would know this one. Spelled Fatsy.
Yeah, Peter Fatsy. Fatsy, I'm Fatse. Fatsy, for being...
He's getting whacked tomorrow.
He's the hitting coach, Joe. Where's number 62?
Somewhat 62 on the program. Someone's getting whacked tomorrow. It's not Cora. It's not Bailey.
Fatsy from Holyoke. Local guy.
Sounds like a caller to the night show.
Yeah, Fatsy and Holyoke.
Fatsy and Holyoke. You're up next on the 98.5 The Sports Hub. Someone's going down. It's not the pitching coach. Who could it be? Could it be the bullpen, third bullpen catcher? Someone's going down tomorrow. There needs to be an urgency move here. It's not the manager. Could it be? Oh, it could be Trevor Story, DFA.
We got, all right, Joe, for options.
Yes, give me some options.
You got Fatsy, the hitting coach.
Okay.
Dylan Lawson is the assistant hitting coach.
Oh, that's a good one. The assistant to the manager is always first one to go.
Ben Rosenthal, also assistant hitting coach. Maybe 2 for 1 there.
I'd go 2 for 1.
Take them both.
Keep Fatsy, get rid of the others, or keep both assistants, get rid of Fatsy.
How about Jose David Flores or Kyle Hudson? They are your infield and outfield instructors, first base coach and third base coach. Maybe the infield instructor might. I
don't know. They're working hard with Christian Campbell. I don't know, Skez. I don't know. I mean, it's not Tech, right?
No, your game planning and run prevention coach, Jason Veritek. I don't think he's getting let go.
So let's talk about, how about Liam Hendrickson? Would that be a shakeup? Hendricks or Hendrickson?
Hendricks.
I was thinking of the
you're not in a position
player.
to let go of him.
Okay. I'm thinking of a roster, like what's an impactful move? Because this is what you do.
You cut Trevor Story.
I think you'd cut Trevor Story. Or Fatsy.
Both.
Both? Fine.
Send him packing.
In. Make a package deal, send him back to Colorado.
I mean, it can't be any worse in Colorado.
You know what? You mentioned the Story thing. We talked about this off the air. I do think they should just let him go and go somewhere. They're going to have to eat the money. But, it's not going to work here anymore. And we talked about this with Chris Sale. You had to let Chris, you had to cut bait. What's a golf term? Just got to pick up the ball? What's, you rip the Band-Aid?
Yeah, you're trying to minimize the damage, I guess, chipping out, playing it safe.
If Trevor Story was cut tomorrow, people would be like, that was justified. It's a move. It's a heads are going to roll move. They're going to eat the money. They're going to be pissed about that. The guy's a good guy. He's tried to be the leader. You know how many guys have tried? You know what? I'm taking right now. Ready for this, Luke? This is a hot take. This is now air frying. It didn't even marinate, bro. We're popping that thing 400, 3 minutes. Why does everybody who sucks want to be the leader on this team? Years ago, remember who's the guy that played for the Dodgers? Just talked about his LinkedIn update. Hit a big home run in the World Series last year. Middle infielder got traded. Nick, what's his name there? You know who I'm talking about, right? Played for the Dodgers last year, hit a walk-off home run, swore after he hit the home run. Come on!
You're not talking about Kike, are you?
Kike Hernandez. Remember him?
Yes, of course.
He wanted to be the leader, right? Hey, look at my LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. I'm the leader of the team.
I'm sorry, I didn't remember the LinkedIn.
Google Kike Hernandez LinkedIn. Watch. Rob Ruffschneider this week wants to be the leader. Well, we suck right now. Trevor Story wanted to be the leader at one point. Why is it those guys? For years, I've been claiming this team for a leader. They have none. Maybe they lost it in 2018. I don't know. Rafael Devers, not a leader, and I'm fine with it. You know why? Because he hits 400 a month. I'm fine with it. But why is it that these other guys try to pretend to be the leader when they can't be? They don't have the voice. Hey, listen, the Patriots, to cross sports, the Patriots this year, Jonathan Jones tried to be the voice in the room. Jonathan Jones is a nice player, right? Not a all-pro, not a Pro Bowler. His voice in the locker room, it doesn't work. The Red Sox have had many of these guys. They don't work. Know what else about Kiki Hernandez, by the way? They let him go. He went to the Dodgers, helped them win a championship. Ryan Brazier, let him go. Goes to the Dodgers, wins a championship. Like, I just feel Chris Sale gets traded. They let him go. He wins a Cy Young Award. Some guys can't play in Boston. Trevor Story is one of them. It's time to cut bait. It's time to rip the Band-Aid. It's time. Because you're running out of it, Red Sox. You have two directions. You want to be competitive and win games, or you want to develop talent. Somebody wants me to do the Joe Murray Kiki LinkedIn impression again. I'm not going to do it. But yeah, they asked him like, well, I guess I got to update my LinkedIn profile.
It was a tweet.
It was a tweet. What did he say? What was it?
Anybody know how to use LinkedIn? Need help with my resume? After someone asked Heim Bloom if Kiki Hernandez had the resume to be a leader.
Oh, wow. We're getting the resume now, huh? Ooh. Imagine that from a middle infielder, Skaz. Imagine if Trevor Story did that. Just like that right there.
Hernandez was hitting 238 when he tweeted it.
Ooh, what's Story hitting?
Got to be lower than that.
Let's see.
He's reinventing the Mendoza line.
Story 218.
20 points.
20 point difference. They lack leadership. You have a bunch of young guys who are going to make mistakes. There's nobody in there leading them. How is the big three supposed to be good and develop when the Red Sox can't get out of their own way and can't, like, none of these guys are going to save the Red Sox. None of them.
I think it shows, Bregman's value. I think he was supposed to be that guy, and you haven't won a game since he went down. So, obviously there's a lot of other things that go into that, but there are massive gaps on this team, and they tried to plug some of them, but, as soon as the cracks start, they're sinking. It's everything that, could go wrong has gone wrong over these last 4 or 5 games, and they're not a good baseball team. The only thing they're good at is not getting shut out, but they still don't score enough runs to win games, and when they do, they're letting up too many runs. So it's a brutal product right now, your Boston Red Sox.
You know what? I would put a job post out for a captain, like, or a leader. Like,
let's get Milliken in the dugout.
No, okay, yeah, I'm in on that. Okay, someone hits a triple, take that thing, show the meat. I meant that chest hair, everybody. Like, I'm going to use some names that weren't great players, but were great leaders. Kevin Millar was a great leader. Johnny Gomes was a great leader. Like, there were guys who led by example. I don't know. Like, Steve Pearce was somewhat of a leader. Like,
I think Bogarts was a good quiet leader.
Bogarts was a great leader. Mookie Betts led by example. You're right. Like, the John Lester was a leader, right? Like, they had the little leader. Dustin Pedroia was a leader. Say what you want. He was a leader. Euclid was a leader. I know I'm dating ourselves. I'm dating myself. Does the league have that anymore? Like, is it a Red Sox problem, or is it a league-wide problem? Because, guys, every winning team, don't they have that guy that they always they love? Like, they always kind of lean. Again, I mentioned Kiki Hernandez. Like, he helped them last year.
Also, Freddie Freeman, who's a guy like that.
Good one. I'm just trying to think of some, like, past winners, or even teams that made it to the final. Like, when I think of leaders, like, I'm dating myself again, years, but Torrey Hunter was on some pretty good Twins teams. Was with the Tigers at the end, right? Like, really good leader, but he wasn't the star of the team, right? There were just guys that could lead, man. This team needs it. They need a guy who can swing the bat a little bit, but also just, be a good role model. I go back to the old Bruins. I know there's been a lot of talk about Marco Sturm coming in, potentially but, like, Marty LaPointe was this big free agent signing that they had, And he failed. He played with Detroit, and so his numbers were inflated. He got a big-time contract. But the biggest thing that he did was he let Patrice Bergeron live with him and taught him the ropes and taught him how to be a pro. And although it was an albatross to the contract and he wasn't the player, he took him under his wing and showed him how to be a pro. Who does that on the Red Sox? Like, I'll give Bregman some credit. He at least bought Marcelo Mayer and all these guys their first suits. So when they get called up, they had something to wear. Like, that's leadership to me. Where else do they have that? And when you're struggling and you're Christian Campbell, who do you go to about the situation that you made today? Can you go to Cora? Like, what do you do? Or are they just going to say, it's all right, man, you're going to move the first anyways. You're not going to have to throw the ball anymore. Is that just the solution? Like, does he get the why, or, does he learn from that? Man, do they lack leadership. It's bad. It's bad. We could point to a lot of things. The manager, that he doesn't want to win games. The lack of communication is absolutely real. Their hitting's bad. Their defense is worse. But really, if you want to bring in these young players and develop them, who can they lean on? We'll go to a break. I'm blabbing. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Checking on our friends on YouTube tonight. All the Red Sox leaders are too busy giving tours at Fenway. It's nobody's fault what's going on at Fenway. Well, I got to blame somebody, bro. Got to blame someone. They're not going to fire the manager, so what are we going to do? So you can feel free to join us on YouTube, subscribe, and then you can actually join the chat. You can come up with a funny screen name, and well, you can hang out with the rest of the people that are watching on YouTube right now. Let's go to the phones. Tommy's in Marblehead. Hello, Tommy.
Hello, Joe. How are you tonight?
How are you doing?
Joe, I wanted to. You've mentioned Parkway Little League a couple times.
Yes, sir.
I had the distinct pleasure of going out to the Cooperstown Dreams Park as a guest umpire for the Parkway Little League.
Oh wow! Yeah, my childhood best friend Joe runs the Little League now.
Yeah, just great people. And I went out in 2011 and 2012.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Cooperstown Dreams Park.
Yeah,
setup,
I only know about it. Like I said, I followed along, but I ended up playing in Hyde Park later on. But Parkway, man, it was really serious. It was, they hit us ground balls, bruise off the chest. Like we got a ball, and like we knew what we were going to do with it. But you know, I would say most of the people who came through there were pretty good ball players.
Yeah, they were. It was really nice, a really good group to be with, and I had never known any of those people before, and they treated me really nice. But it's quite a setup out there. 22 fields, and
yep.
Like 1,500 kids over a week, and 350 coaches, 150 umpires. It was quite a good experience.
And that's great because when we were kids, you had a shot for the Little League World Series. So you had to, we had to play teams like Newton. Worcester recently went, I think. Rhode Island had a big run there. But, you would play all the teams, and then it'd come a little bit more New England. And then, it got harder and harder. But I think there were a couple teams that were a game or two away. But Newton, I know, went, and Rhode Island went recently.
Yeah, Peabody, I did quite a bit of umpiring on the North Shore.
Nice.
And Peabody West, I believe, went, and Peabody National, and also Saugus American back in the early 2000s. Their field in Saugus was named World Series Park.
That was
after that team that made the run.
Yep.
And they went to the U.S. title game.
Yeah, I believe Jared Carabas may have been a part of that crew as well. But appreciate you calling, man. Thanks, Tommy. I don't know if that's what he was calling about, but shout out to the old days. Yeah, we didn't have the Cooperstown 22 Fields challenge when I was growing up. It was, you're either going to make it or you're not. Should we talk some football? So, remember I mentioned a while back, guys, about Stefon Diggs and Cardi B and Torrey Craig and Megan Thee Stallion, and I just was wondering, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? Well, I'll tell you what could go wrong after the headline here. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Red Sox lose 6-5 today in extra innings. It wasn't good. And, well, to be honest with you, it's good because they don't have to play tomorrow. That's what we're all happy about. How about the Panthers up 3-2 right now over Carolina with a 3-1 series lead? And, well, Ant-Man is Can't-Man as the Thunder have a 91-62 lead. Do you think tomorrow we're going to hear that that he's soft? He can't win.
Sports Hub.
A video of Stefon Diggs has gotten a lot of traction in the last 24 hours or so. He's on a boat having a good time, but the question comes in as to a certain substance that people are guessing what is and isn't. Is this something that the team has to look into?
Well, it's something that we're aware of, and obviously we want to make great decisions on and off the field, and we're hoping that with our time here on the field today, and that when we don't have a script and we're on the call-up periods, that we're making great decisions. And so the message will be the same for all our players, that we're trying to make great decisions, and any conversations that I've had with Stefon will remain between him and I and the club.
Mike Vrabel addressed during the question and answer session. You heard Karen, our good friend Karen Green. Well, Stefon Diggs was partying on a yacht, handing off what appeared to be a substance in a baggie to a woman, and it went viral on social media. Vrabel told the reporters the team's aware of it, and that he wants his players to make great decisions on and off the field. Vrabel added that any conversation he's had with Diggs will remain between him and the club. Not the greatest impression, I would say, but what'd he do? I enjoy diva receivers. And Skaz, I think you had a great line earlier today off the air. You said if you want a number one receiver, what do you have to deal with?
You got to deal with diva wide receiver tendencies, Joe. That's just, it's part of the thing. I'm more than okay with it.
I'm in. You listen. Did anybody see the video? Has anybody watched the videos on the boat? Have you seen what's been happening on that boat?
Looked like a good time to me, Joe.
Whole lot, baby. Whole lot of shaking going on. There's a lot of shaking going on. What did he do wrong?
Well, I'll tell you what he did wrong, Joe. There was a camera there.
Oh,
that's what he did wrong.
That's not his fault.
It kind of is. That's his. You gotta know.
Nothing to see here, everybody. I don't care at all.
I will say, just in general, it seems like NFL teams that have players with boat issues, not good.
Out on boats
Listen, in the NFL.
I worked with Jermaine Wiggins.
I was going to say, yes.
And I have tried.
From Minnesota to the Giants to...
I have tried. And there must be a real legal document signed there, Skaz, because he ain't talking. He ain't talking. But you're right. The Giants, when's the last time they've had a winning season since that photo?
Maybe none? One, maybe?
You know what's funny? There was a wrestling photo of all the wrestling girls on a boat this week. And they did nothing wrong at all, the girls. But because some of them are like kayfabe, you know what I mean? Like they're supposed to not like each other in real life, but there they are in real life on a boat taking photos together in bikinis. It's like some people can be normal people and live lives. I don't know. Cardi B to me is a pretty big star who's probably around a lot of drugs. So now Cardi B, who likes it like that, now I got to worry about Stefon Diggs with Cardi B?
No.
That's what I'm saying. I don't care. Yes. I'm not worried out on this story.
You don't need to worry, Joe.
There's nothing to worry. Nothing to see here.
Two adults having fun.
Nothing to see here.
Nothing at all. I'm with you.
Now, to your point, Skaz, it's got to be better with your surroundings.
Yeah, just a little awareness. You know, I want my wide receiver. I want him aware. I want him to know what's out there. You know, gotta be always on your toes. We mentioned, boats in the NFL. One guy who's not afraid to talk about that Minnesota thing. I heard Fred Smoot recently on some podcasts. If you want a guy to talk about that, there's your guy. Fred Smoot is tremendous, too. He should be doing college football or something.
Well, Stefon Diggs, maybe the boat likes candy. I don't know. I didn't see anything wrong. I don't think he did anything wrong at all. I don't think the league will get involved. If you want to drug test him and he passes, nothing to see here. Fred Smoot, those guys, woo, woo, woo. So, you know what? Do we have the Cardi B of Joey does the summer hits? I don't know if we got that back there. I mean, weren't they at the game together? They were at the New York Knicks game, right? Game 6 with the Jenners and your buddy Thomas there, whatever his name face, boy toy.
I'm sorry?
The guy, Thomas, you like him. The Jenner's boy toy there, the new guy.
Oh, Chalamet.
Yeah, him.
Yes.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy, not Thomas. I thought you were talking the Tank Engine or something for a second there. Yeah, Dune's pretty good. Good actor. Ball knower.
Nothing to see here, everybody. Non-story for me.
Do we have Joe Murray doing Cardi B?
I did that one, if you remember. This was during COVID. I was in my basement, my recording studio, and I looked for a song of the summer. Yep. Oh, we got it. Why don't we play this, guys? Let's play this. Go to break.
I like it like that.
We'll go to break after this, everybody.
I said I like it like that. I said I like it like that. I said I like it like that. Diamond District in the jug. I said I like it like that. Certified, you know I'm gang. I said I like it like that. Drop the top and blow the bang. I said I like it like that. Oh, he's so handsome. What's his name? I said I like it like that.
You're listening to Joe. You're listening to Joe Murray on 98. Solak and Bertrand get you through the midday. Joe Murray gets you right through the night.
I actually spoke with women today.
On the Sports Hub.
Well, it's going to be 80s next week, dude. Shout out to Luke, our intern. Learned how to do his first video tonight. And he's got a social video that will probably go up later tonight. It's first thing tomorrow. But he gets our answer for best chicken sandwich, which is always a good discussion, guys. So
he's a big fan of CapCut too.
Well,
very easy.
If he never met us, would he have known about it?
I think he's a resourceful guy. He would have found it eventually.
Well, he came in and goes, I'm going to use CapCut forever now.
Yeah, we've converted him.
And then I said, hey, how about some subtitles there? So we're learning. We're all learning together. So shout out to Luke. Tomorrow, Skaz, we have a full show. And tomorrow I would like to pay homage to one David Andrews. Deserves more than 8 minutes. So, teaser, tomorrow night, David Andrews night. We had Vray Day before, remember? Vrabel's Day. But David Andrews was a great Patriot. Great Patriot. And deserves more than 8 minutes, so we'll do that tomorrow night. What else? We have a special guest tomorrow night, guys, I believe.
Yes, we'll be joined by the Revolution goalie, Joe, tomorrow night. They're starting goalie at 8:20. Now, his name is Ale Ivicic. We're going to double check with him tomorrow.
Ivicic.
Yes. I listened to the broadcast intently tonight. I've looked. Ivicic, I think, is how they're.
Well, there's a wrestler called L.A. Knight. Can we just call him L.A. Ivicic?
No, I don't think so. Maybe, though. Maybe he's a wrestling guy.
Maybe I'll ask him.
I believe he's from Slovenia.
Ooh.
So, we'll learn about some Slovenian food tomorrow night, I'm sure. He's played in Portland. He was with the Portland Timbers for a while. Now he's the starter with the Revs. Born, Joe, 8 days apart, me and him. I just looked at his Wikipedia very quickly. So, couple different career paths there, but
I wonder what his favorite chicken sandwich is.
Yeah, we'll have to learn that.
Also, we'll have Bill Spiros in studio tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. He's in town for something. I don't know what. He wrote an article today for the Herald. I think it was about the Red Sox. He'll be in studio tomorrow. So full show tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Panthers just took a go-ahead lead. They're going to move on to the Stanley Cup final. Well, with 54 seconds left. But
they're up 2.
They're up 2. This thing's over. Hopefully you took the puck line. Gentlemen's sweep. What does Carolina do now? Is it fireable?
You can't fire Brindamore. I know that's like the easy thing.
You can't. You can't fire him. No.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
But what do you like? That's I don't want to do work. I don't got nothing to do with that one. I'm still waiting on the Bruins goalie. Sorry, coach.
Is Marco Sturm going to be the coach or not?
Like, who reported that? He was respected. I will say
it was
that.
someone from like Line or I don't want to butcher it, but yes, I did see it.
Well, so I'm waiting on that one. By the way, in the NBA, it looks like we're going to have the Oklahoma City Thunder will be going to the NBA Finals.
To take on, I believe, the Pacers, it looks like. I mean, I don't see New York coming back, but you never know.
Would just like to let everybody know that Anthony Edwards was not the leading scorer for the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight.
I'm sorry, Joe. Was that?
Can't man.
Thank you.
Can't man.
Is this if this is Pacers OKC? This is the Paul George Finals, right?
Never thought about that.
Both teams built their rosters off of trading Paul George.
Do you know what else? Maybe I'm spitballing here. Do the Pacers and Thunder pay a luxury tax, Bill?
The Thunder are going to be paying a very expensive one in a couple of years.
Not this year, though.
Not this year. No, I don't believe because they got these guys early.
That has that ever happened? I actually want to think about that one. Has a team gone to the finals and won? I don't think so. The Raptors were over, I believe, when Kawhi won because he had a big number. The Pacers aren't at the tax, dude.
All right, Joe. The 2019-2020 Lakers won without incurring luxury tax.
Wow.
The 14-15 and 17-18 Warriors won titles without exceeding the luxury tax.
Yeah, but that was the aprons weren't really in effect yet.
So recently, 2019-2020 Lakers.
The Lakers is a good one. LeBron and Davis, they were the two best players on the planet. It was in the bubble. And they beat the Heat?
Sure.
Yeah, because Jimmy Butler was selling
I think so.
I think this is the first final where either team is paying a tax.
2020, 2021, the Milwaukee Bucks were $700,000 over the tax. Of the 7 teams that were over the tax that year, they were 7th. So they were barely over. And then, the Golden State Warriors and the Celtics were over.
We should get Keith Smith on some night and talk about the cap.
I always want to call him Keith Smart because everything I see from him is analytically driven. Yeah. Well, not analytics, but numbers based, I should say.
I got his number. I got his number. Yeah, we could use a lesson. I think that would be something good to have as a lever to pull when we need it. Keith Smith, give us some tax apron stuff. Maybe we should wear wear aprons, Celtics aprons.
I don't hate it.
Are we at the first one or the second one?
Which apron are we wearing tonight? Yeah.
All right. Well, that's that then. So, the Pacers still have to win, guys. Hey, it's not over yet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Tyrese Halliburton he's putting on a show.
Are you telling me he's a superstar?
No, I am absolutely not saying.
Just want to make sure. Because he's the face of the league?
No.
Is he your father? Because I heard something about that.
Yeah, we could do 4 hours on... I'd like to, cross-examine the gentleman who thought he needed to hear Kendrick Perkins' thoughts every day and wanted to make him the voice of reason on ESPN. What a decision.
Yeah. No Celtics aprons, Joe. I don't know. That could be a good little meme. Anyways. All right. Well, we're going home, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. The Revs tomorrow night. We'll have a guest. We'll have Bill Spiros. We'll be here for a full show, everybody. Thanks to Luke.